another Blunt Truth edition. And on this edition, there's a couple topics we'll be discussing. First of all, we're going to talk about the Loma tank fight falling off the radar. Not a fight that I was highly anticipating. Loma's definitely at the tail end of his career. I don't think he really had the power to be, let's say, truly effective against Tank. It's kind of a fight that you would have been just waiting for Tank to knock him out, and it's not something like I think would have really catapulted Tank and kind of boost his star. He's already probably currently the face of boxing. I mean, it would have been a good fight, but not the fight. Kind of waiting for Tank and Haney, waiting for Tank and Shakur possibility. Now that we see that Shakur won't get the Zapata fight, that's another topic that I want to discuss. So we're just gonna wrap that one up in inside this one too. Again, Lomachenko asking for the time or saying that he wants to take the time off, and understandable, but kind of not understandable. I don't think he fought this year at all. If I'm correct, did he fight this year? He probably didn't fight this year. But again, it's not a fight that I thought was the fight that boxing needed right now. Like, boxing needs these youngsters to get in here, or the younger cats to get in here and start really mixing it up. Tank's trying to do that. He got in there with Garcia. Hopefully, Garcia was clean in that fight, but then again, it wouldn't have mattered. Tank got him out of there. That being said, though, gotta see Haney. I mean, we gotta see Haney on a comeback. Tank and Haney is a great fight. They've had some issues in the past, so let's work on that one. Again, Shakur Stevenson's a very live fight to me, with having to have a destination to land, and I've heard some of the experts, so to speak, the Sean Porters and other guys like that, say that PBC would be a great landing spot. I don't think that that's a true place to land as far as saying that he's a PBC fighter, because PBC fighters have no outlet right now. They don't have a quote unquote streaming site that they able to place their fights on weekly like they have been in the past, with working with Fox and giving us those Sunday fights and some Saturday fights and things like that. PBC seems like they strictly pay-per-view, and right now I don't know if Shakur Stevens is a pay-per-view fighter. We've heard the numbers from his last fight that they did well as far as viewership, but is that saying people bought the subscription from ESPN Plus for that fight? So the numbers are a little bit confusing to be able to tell. Maybe promoters that this guy's sellable on a pay-per-view version. That's $100 a fight. I don't know that. Did Bob Aaron and them even take the chance to see if he was a pay-per-view-esque type of guy? Because I'm not sure any of his fights were even on the pay-per-view version of ESPN Plus. They could have tried it with a Valdez fight, something like that. I don't know, maybe a Herring fight could have been on a pay-per-view type of version, but they never pushed him that route. So is he a pay-per-view guy? Can he support a pay-per-view event that PBC could put together? Probably. Get on a Spence card and support a Spence card, but is he a headliner for PBC as a pay-per-view star? I doubt that very seriously, unless it's a Tank fight. And that doesn't have him say he came over to be his own brand under PBC. I don't know where this young man would go if no one is giving him a independent style contract, like a fight per fight style contract. Where does he go? Matchroom? We try to get a lot of those fights with the across the ponds with some of those guys over there, with the that younger crowd that they have developing. Some of the names slip my tongue right now, but you guys know what I mean as far as probably fighting under Matchroom, and definitely, like I said, fighting a lot of the British and more international fighters from that side of the pond. It's a possibility. It's really up in the air for this guy, Shakur Stevenson, right now, unless Tank and a Haney or some of these guys will really agree to fight this man. And again, what banner does he fight under? Is it PBC? Is it Matchroom? We know it won't be Golden Boy, but he could, like I said, he could still end up on that Dazan streaming service if he signs with Matchroom. Have I heard Hearn say anything about it? Not that I know about. And if I'm wrong, you guys can drop something in the comment section and let me know. But again, I'm not saying that I'm right or wrong in this situation. I just don't know what this young man can do right now. I don't believe he's a pay-per-view star. I think he's a star in boxing, but his style isn't, to me, $100 a fight style. That just doesn't clamor to me to say, yo, I'm cashing out to see this guy in a main event for a pay-per-view style card. So again, and that's no cap on Shakur Stevenson or me throwing shade or anything. I'm trying to give you the blunt truth. I just don't see it unless, again, that he's in there with a Haney, unless he's in there with a Garcia possibility within a year. But that's a mismatch weight-wise right now. So they saying catch weight 145, things like that. It's just talk, because again, you have to have a promoter say, I want to put this particular fight on. What promoter that's going to be, I have no freaking idea. I don't even understand what PBC is doing. PBC seems like they're strictly a pay-per-view promotion right now. Again, you could add Shakur Stevenson. He would enhance a pay-per-view card, but I don't think he's the guy that you can build a card around. That being said, it's still a possibility for him to become a PBC fighter, because again, he is a good supporting star for a PBC card. Again, like I said, on that Fundora Spence card, if you could get maybe, let's say, Jackson Marinez or somebody like that to introduce Shakur Stevenson to that PBC fan base, probably could be a good fight. You know what I mean? But just to say that we signed in Shakur Stevenson to PBC and he's to possibly going to take some limelight from Tank or add to the Tank limelight as a future fight, I don't know. But it doesn't seem like it's a lot of fights over there at PBC at 135. And if they are there, they would be going to Tank and not Shakur Stevenson. So it's a tricky situation right now for Shakur Stevenson and where he's going to land. It'd be very interesting. And again, Tank is the face of PBC. The Loma fight doesn't, I don't think, really hurt him coming to the end of the year. I think he's still the face of boxing, and it's not a fight that let's just say will be missed if it didn't happen. It just, again, like I said, Loma's at the tail end of his career. Again, a fight he could have possibly won if he was able to box and avoid that power, but not too many people have been able to avoid that power. And at this point in Lomachenko's career, he probably wouldn't have been able to avoid the power. So again, that's just my 1-2 on those two topics. Now this last topic is it's a saga, and it involves this Jake Paul guy. Hearing talk that they want to push this guy to become a cruiserweight champion, possibly fight Chavez Jr. And the WBC people already jumped out the window and said they support that fight. I understand the cruiserweight division is very lackluster, and adding him in there, to me, does nothing for the cruiserweight division. This guy is a joke. He says he's the king of this. What this is, I have no idea. I really would like to know what this is, but only he can tell us that. So, being the king of something that's undescribable is not something is a claim to fame to me. But that being said, man, it's turning into one of the biggest jokes in sports right now. This legitimizing this guy is like trying to legitimize wrestling right now. They're on par. This guy's quote unquote boxing career is as equal to a wrestling main event right now. It's a travesty. His skills are deplorable. Uh, he's not a combination puncher. He doesn't have any head movement, no shoulder roll. He's not doing anything in boxing that's extraordinary to be able to say he's this guy. He's a pay-per-view guy. He's a guy that should have event after event after event. This is deplorable. And the guys that support him, maybe they just combat sports people and they just have to see that type of action or some sort of action on that level. But it's not good at all, man. I saw that fight. It was terrible. It was terrible. I mean, on some Charles Barkley, terrible. Terrible. You understand what I'm talking about? And it's not going to get better. As he gets bigger, as he gets older, it's going to get worse and worse. And then you say Chavez Jr. and him for a title? Did you see Chavez Jr.? Did you see Julio Chavez Jr. fight a retired MMA guy and look like he was a retired MMA guy? If that is a world title fight, I might have to take some time off from boxing again. If they put that together and promote that as a pay-per-view event and really push to say that this guy's a true champion, I might have to take a step back out of boxing again, man. It's going downhill, and I mean fast. This is going downhill fast. I mean, they're really clamoring about this. They're acting like this is some sort of true build-up. This is some sort of real contender. This dude is a walking travesty when it comes to combat sports. Travesty. I mean, when you have people that have seriously trained their whole lives, have the true love for this sport, and are missing opportunities because of guys like this, it's not fair. It's not fair. Me talking about it may not change it, but me talking about it kind of lets the powers that be know people see this as a fraud, man. People see that this is not real, and at some point in time, the steam that he's got going, it's gonna dissipate. They gonna put together an event, and it's not gonna do the numbers, and they're going to be very, very upset. And I hope that happens to them real soon, because he deserves it. The people that promoting this guy, they're going to deserve that L. They're going to deserve to take that loss financially and just socially. They're going to deserve that, man, because this guy has been a travesty, a symbiotic saga of sappiness. You understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to use some extravagant words without being barbarically savage with my speech right now, cause I mean, I want to laugh, I want to cry, I want to scream when I keep seeing this guy pop up event after event as if he is a true boxer. He might be somebody that ain't scared to fight. That's cool. Ain't nobody mad at you for not being scared to fight. But stop coming out here as if you're that guy. You're just a guy that they putting out here in front of the sheep, and the sheep are eating it up. And I can double back now. I had a video back. I was kind of mad or kind of upset with Bud Crawford with how he felt about boxing fans. Now, if he said fans of this genre and he got on them, I'm in full support with him. But boxing fans, I don't think are the people that are truly supporting this. It might be casuals that support this, but true boxing heads, the true boxing world, they not rocking with this nonsense, man. This is terrible. And Jose Suleiman, man, bro, you are terrible. You are terrible. WBC is definitely losing their some clout in these boxing streets, man. Anyway, man, that's boxing first vlog. Wanted to give you this 1-2 on a few of the topics that's running around and floating around in these boxing streets. And until the next few topics pop up or the next topic pops up, I want you guys to keep your guard up and stay in the fight. And we'll be back